What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't. So the issue is very evident. Kawhi speaks on, or he gets honest about, the issue that he saw and that he partaked in regards to the Clippers playing against the Houston Rockets. And, here again, he says something very alarming, for the team. But of course, it's something that's fixable, of course, because they definitely have the talent. They definitely got all the pieces. They definitely got, the right superstar, and it all goes hand in hand. I do believe they have the right coach, but of course, at times that's questionable, but we'll see. Ty Lue has won a championship, so I can't discredit him much, but at the same time, Kawhi Leonard speaks on, the team coming out with a lack of urgency, a lack of, that playing with that back against the wall type mentality. And, that's something that can haunt the Clippers going into the playoffs. You've heard me say this before in a few videos ago about, their lack thereof. And this is something that I spoke about when they actually lost to the Lakers and, when they lost to the Bucks as well. So, they're coming out flat. They're not coming out, sharp. They're not coming out with precision. They're not coming out ready. And, the fact that they had to kind of, pep each other up and things like that, that's actually a good thing because, it let them know, hey, we need to wake the hell up because losing to the Houston Rockets, it's possible we can do that, but at the same time, we can make our life a lot easier by, playing our game the way we know how to play it and go out and execute the plan and beat a team like this, because really they have the talent to beat a team like that amongst a lot of other teams in the league as well. So they got right. And, Paul George started scoring more, which I thought that was good. And then James Harden started getting involved. Kawhi was already doing his thing. And they just really put it all together. And defensively, they played very well also. And then, you got to look at Mason Plumlee. He came in, with 11 rebounds, 8 points in 20 minutes. He played huge. He definitely can move his feet on the perimeter a little bit, guarding, other players, which kind of makes him a little bit more versatile, I think, in that way. He actually surprised me in that way as well. I didn't really think he still had that type of, footwork in his game to move like that, but he definitely moves very well still, even at his age now. And I know he's been in the league for some years, but still, it's definitely a good sign to see that they can have somebody as a backup to Zubac when he gets right, to come in there and really, supply some energy and supply some very substantial minutes, in which I don't doubt any of their big men. It's just that, we don't see enough of that. And that's the reason why I feel like, they can make some adjustment in the 5 position in regards to how they use them and rotate them out and get the best out of each one of them when they're on the floor, including Daniel Tice. But listen to Kawhi say that, it just tells the team that they have to play with more of a sense of urgency. They have to play with more of that go-getter mentality. And hopefully the Houston game woke them up a little bit because they were down by 20 points and they found themselves kind of in a situation where it's like, damn, if you lose this game, it's like, damn, where do the Clippers go from here mentally? Are you still a championship team, or you still have those aspirations, or are you just kind of on the downslide mentally trying to figure things out still? It would have been a lot more questions raised about the Clippers if they lost that game, but they did find a way to come back and win it. And that's the main thing. That's the main key. Find a way to come back and win is all you have to do. And sometimes you're going to get down in games like that. You're going to be down 10, 20 points. But I think what the Clippers showed is they got the resources, they got the team, they got the star player, and they got all the pieces in the world to really go out and win the whole thing, because they can be down in games, but they have such high power offense and guys that can really, put the ball in the basket at a high level to where no lead is safe with them. And I think that's the message that they really sent to the NBA and to a lot of other teams that, hey, there's no lead safe with us. When we're on our game, when we play right, we can come back. We have the offense, and with all the wing players we got and the length, and we have guys that move their feet on the perimeter, guys that really know how to play, veterans on this roster. We can compete with anybody, and that's the type of mindset they need to have. I just need them to pick it up a little bit more on the defensive end, because I think that's somewhere where I think they need to kind of more so focus on. The defensive end really needs to be their number one prowess. They don't really need to focus too much on the offensive end, and I think that's one of the biggest problems with the Clippers. Clippers because they know they have so much offense. They really kind of lag on defense some because they feel like they can just keep up with anybody scoring wise. But see, when the jump shot is not falling, that's when you got to really kind of revert back and scale back and put it in your mind that you got to go out there and try to, make it up on the defensive end. But see, if they start games with a defensive mindset like they did, prior to the All-Star break, that's why they was on such a roll before the All-Star break, because if you look at their defensive rotations, I mean, James Harden hypothetically would be on the ball carrier, the ball carrier, bringing the ball up the floor, which is the point guard. And then if the point guard would switch off and maybe have a screen set and run through it, there'll be, Paul George or sometime, maybe even Kawhi Leonard be there to match or wait for the defender. So just to not wait for the offensive player in the point guard to not make him comfortable to be able to set up and take the three or pass to somebody else who's wide open, because they basically switched well. They were talking more on defense, and that's how they got to play going forward. They got to play with the same sense of urgency that they had, and they can do it. They just got to really ramp it back up and really, put the key in the ignition and start it, because that's really been their issue here the last several games since coming out of the All-Star break. They haven't been really, hungry. They seem complacent, and that's not something you want to get, even though you got, one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. When everybody on the team is right, it still doesn't matter. You can't get complacent. You got to go out there and fight for it and, want it more, because the opportunity of still getting the number one seed is still there. So hopefully, listening to Kawhi Leonard speak on this for like the second or third time after a shaky game, hopefully the Clippers can really, put more together and kind of really understand, hey, we got to take every game serious still, because, we still have an opportunity to get the number one seed. We still have the opportunity to better our chances of, facing somebody a little bit less challenging, possibly in the first round, rather than going, 6-7 games against a team like maybe the Phoenix Suns or, maybe even the Kings or somebody like that. Maybe you could face somebody in the playing tournament that might not give you so much of a hassle, but even still, you don't want to take nobody lightly. But my point is, if they could finish the number one seed and get, home court advantage throughout the playoffs, that definitely is going to benefit them in a lot of ways going forward. So hopefully that's still the goal. Hopefully they're still, playing with that type of mindset. Hopefully this game with Houston wakes them up a little bit so they can, look like the championship team that we know they can be.